Why consciousness is the biggest mystery in science. My friends, modern science claims to have decoded almost everything. We know how black holes work, we've mapped the entire human DNA, and we've calculated the exact speed of light. But there is one glitch right under our noses. In fact, it is us, and modern science has absolutely no answer for it. This is the one mystery that has kept the greatest neuroscientists and quantum physicists awake at night for the past 100 years. And that is consciousness. The sheer feeling that you are actually alive. Imagine a highly advanced AI robot standing right in front of you. It can talk like you, walk like you, and solve complex math problems in seconds. But inside, it feels absolutely nothing. It is completely dark inside. Now look at yourself. Both you and that robot are made of the exact same dead stardust and atoms from this universe. So, how did the lights turn on inside of you? Where did this subjective experience come from? How are you even able to recognize your own existence? In Western philosophy and science, this is known as the hard problem of consciousness. Science has the answer to the easy problem. The easy problem is simply figuring out how your brain processes data. When you eat a chocolate chip cookie, science can tell you that a chemical reaction happened on your tongue, an electrical signal traveled up your spine, and dopamine was released in your brain. We can see this entire mechanical process happening live under microscopes and brain scans. But this is exactly where science chokes. Science can explain how the brain reacts, but it cannot explain why the taste of that cookie actually feels like something to you. How can a chemical reaction in a biological machine give birth to a genuine lived experience? Just think about it, brother. This entire universe is made of dead, lifeless matter, protons, neutrons, electrons. At what exact point does a clump of dead carbon atoms suddenly wake up and start feeling anxiety, love, or the terrifying fear of death? How can consciousness just magically appear in a pile of dead atoms? It's like saying if you keep stacking dead bricks on top of each other, eventually, that brick wall is going to start crying or having feelings. Does that make any logical sense? No. Yet modern science forces us to believe that your brain is just a meat computer, and your consciousness is nothing but an accidental byproduct of this machine. Whenever you ask a neuroscientist how brain matter creates consciousness, they will throw a very smart-sounding word at you. They call it an emergent property. They claim that when a network of neurons gets complex enough, consciousness just naturally emerges or pops into existence. But the brutal truth is, this is just a fancy excuse to hide the fact that they have absolutely no idea. Saying it emerges is just saying, a magic trick happens here that we don't understand. Today's supercomputers process data millions of times faster than a human. A Tesla's AI system makes thousands of complex decisions every single second. Their networks are incredibly complex. So does a Tesla feel anxiety while driving down the highway? Does it have a sense of I am? Absolutely not. So, what exactly is inside that 3-pound mass of jelly in your head that is creating a real experience in a dead universe? This is the exact point where Western science is forced to bow down to ancient Eastern wisdom and modern quantum physics. What if we had it completely backwards from the very beginning? What if the brain doesn't produce consciousness at all? The entire materialist scientific worldview is built on the assumption that matter, physical stuff, is the ultimate reality, and consciousness is just something that leaks out of it. But thousands of years ago, Advaita Vedanta and several ancient philosophical traditions said the exact opposite. They claimed that consciousness doesn't come from matter. Instead, this entire physical universe appears within consciousness. To truly grasp this concept, let's look at a very deep example. When you go to sleep at night, you have a dream. In that dream, you might be in a massive city, driving a car, talking to people. In that moment, that car, that road, that sky, everything feels 100% real and incredibly solid to you. If you get hurt in the dream, you actually feel the pain. But the split second you wake up in the morning, you instantly realize a shocking truth. What was that entire solid universe, those people, and all that matter actually made of? It was all made of just one single thing: your own awareness, your consciousness. The physical universe of your dream had no independent existence at all. It was nothing but a projection of your own mind. My friend, take a deep breath right now and try to digest this terrifying reality. If the solid matter of a dream exists entirely inside your consciousness, what is the guarantee that this waking state, this thing you call real life, isn't operating in the exact same way? Max Planck, the founding father of quantum mechanics, dropped a very famous quote that will instantly shatter your illusion. He said, "I regard consciousness as fundamental. I regard matter as derivative from consciousness. We cannot get behind consciousness." Meaning, absolutely nothing in this universe, whether it's a star, a massive galaxy, or your own physical brain, can exist outside of consciousness. Your brain is not creating consciousness, man. Your brain is acting like a radio receiver. It is catching a universal frequency of consciousness and playing a human experience through its biological filter. If the brain is the radio set, consciousness is the invisible radio frequency. If you take a hammer and smash that radio to pieces, the music will stop playing. But did that invisible frequency get destroyed in the dirt? No, my friend. The frequency is still right there. It's just that the limited hardware of the brain has stopped translating the signal. This is exactly why, when the biological hardware of your brain shuts down at the moment of death, science assumes that you are completely gone. But Vedanta and the deepest philosophical truths tell us that your true nature was never the radio set to begin with. You are the signal that was bringing the radio to life. You are not a human being having a conscious experience. You are pure, infinite consciousness having a very temporary human experience. In today's cutting-edge Western philosophy, this concept is finally being recognized, and they are calling it panpsychism. The greatest modern thinkers are now adopting this theory. Panpsychism simply means that consciousness is a fundamental building block of the universe, exactly like mass, spin, or gravity. It means that even the tiniest atom or electron in reality is not completely dead. Even they hold a micro-level spark of experience. The entire cosmos is not a dead, cold machine. It is a giant living mind. And your brain is simply processing one tiny drop from that infinite ocean of consciousness, giving you the temporary illusion of being an individual I. But this brings us to a massive question. If we are infinite consciousness, why do we suffer so much? Why do we overthink everything? Why do we get that strange, hollow feeling inside our chests that we call existential dread? There is only one reason for this, and it is misidentification. You have mistakenly accepted your avatar, your character in the game, as your true self. You think your ego, your past traumas, your bank balance, and your daily thoughts are who you are. But thoughts come and go. Your physical body is constantly changing. The physical body you had as a child is completely dead today. Every single cell has been replaced. Yet, there is one thing that hasn't changed a bit. That profound feeling of I am. That silent screen upon which the entire movie of your life is playing. That silent observer never changes. For a Western audience, absorbing this truth can feel like a massive shock to the system, because our entire society and church structures have conditioned us to believe that we are completely separate from this world, and that our soul is an isolated entity waiting to be judged. But just like in the movie The Matrix, you have to take the red pill here. You were not brought in from somewhere outside and placed into this universe. You grew out of this universe in the exact same way an apple grows out of an apple tree. You are the universe expressing itself as a human for a little while. The next time you look at yourself in the mirror, don't just stare at the shape of your body or the features of your face. Look past all of that and feel the deep, profound silence behind your eyes. Feel the raw awareness. You will finally realize why science will never be able to solve the hard problem of consciousness. Because science is trying to find the very thing that is doing the looking. An eye cannot see itself. A knife cannot cut itself. And consciousness cannot find itself under a microscope. But one deeply disturbing question still remains. If the brain is just a radio, and at the time of death only the radio breaks but not the signal, then when this biological VR headset, this human body, completely powers off and dies, what actually happens to that signal? Does it jump into another body? Or does it dissolve into an eternal void? That is the terrifying door we are going to open in the next video. Make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss it.